Hey everyone, this is Chase from InsurGrid coming to you live with another InsurGrid Agent Spotlight. Today I am joined by one of our first customers and good friend now, David Cronin.
Best customer.
Best customer. David Cronin of Louisville Kentucky Insurance. David, how are you doing today?
It could be a lot worse. Could be a whole lot worse.
Could be a whole lot worse. Louisville, Kentucky. Awesome. Well, David, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for being one of our first customers, arguably our best customer. Would love to learn a little bit more just about, yourself and your agency, how you got started and what you're focused on today.
Oh Lord, how I got started was I didn't pay attention in school, so I ended up in the insurance business. But now I've been in insurance since 1982. Been in my own agency for the last 20 or so years. So, and just I can't find. Once you get in, it's hard to get out of it. It's too easy. But no, loving InsurGrid. It helps us. We use a lot of automation through Better Agency, but in my first message that goes out to people, it basically says there's two ways to get started. One is give me a call at this number, and the other one is just click this link, and it'll shoot us over, your deck pages. And but that's been working pretty well.
Yeah, and David, your agency, you have a staff and your property and casualty shop focused on, I think majority of your business is personal lines.
Yeah, personal lines. Yeah, we're like 95% personal.
95% personal lines. And then how are you driving new business today? I know I think you're a preferred vendor with Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, Dave Ramsey. And then our website is LouisvilleKentuckyInsurance.com. So naturally that searches well. So we're ranked well with that. And we do some other things to help boost our SEO. But we get probably 3 to 5 leads. I'd say roughly 10 a week from our website itself. And then I'm probably getting 5 a week or so from Dave Ramsey. So that's the Ramsey leads that come in are pretty clean. Preferred business, the website stuff, it automatically filters out. If it asks them questions through the I guess agency intelligence, but if they don't have prior, it automatically just shoots them over to another agency, and we don't even get that one. So we're dealing strictly in preferred lines. So that's working out well. But in the automation, the first thing that goes out to them is that 2 ways to get rolling, and that's been getting us some activity on the InsurGrid.
Yeah, and David, what were some of the challenges that you were facing at the agency, both for InsurGrid, that InsurGrid's been able to address, since signing up?
Well, the deck pages, with so many things, especially because once you go and you quote something, you can pull up the reports, but you can pull up their prior insurance once you're into it. But several companies don't show up. Auto Owners doesn't show up. State Auto doesn't show up. Farm Bureau doesn't show up as far as like prior carrier, what their coverage limits are and things like that. So InsurGrid's going a long way to kind of fill that, so that we have a better idea. Plus, people don't know what they have coming in, and they very seldom have their deck pages handy. So, even after like the 3rd or 4th call and you finally get a hold of them, and I'm like, what do you have? I don't know. I said, well, here, let me send you this link real quick and just go out there and fill this out, and I'll have your information. And it helps. The better the coverages are now, it's going to help their profile. It gives us better rates for them in the future.
Yeah. And David, you've had $41,748 in premium come through your InsurGrid pipes just in the past 2 months now. What do how are you implementing InsurGrid in your process, in your agency's process, that you're able to get those numbers?
Well, one is it's built into the automation. First email that goes out to them automatically has that in it. And then in the letter or in the email going out to them, it's highlighted, and it kind of highlights the InsurLink link or InsurGrid link. But also we built it into the email signatures. So it's really easy to, fire it out there. So each agent has a couple of different email signatures. So one would be like for Google review, we've got a specific signature with a bit.ly link in there to get to that. But we got another email signature for InsurGrid. Let me send this to you real quick. Click on the link and it'll put you where we're at. So, the agents have seen how it's getting the information back and they're buying into it.
Yeah. And David, what would you say to an agent who might be on the fence about using a product like InsurGrid? You know, someone who says, "Oh, I have to think about how I'm going to implement it in my agency," or "Let me talk to my staff to see if they would find it useful or they would use it."
Right. Yeah. Keep up with that line of thinking, and I'll keep winning the business. No,
Right.
and no, get off the fence. It's worthwhile. I mean, you got to spend a buck, but it's very well worthwhile. I mean, what's your time worth? You know, when you don't get those deck pages back in, and then the company audits you, you got to have deck pages. You don't have them because you didn't follow up on it. Then you're spending time going back in time trying to fix that. So much easier. I forget what you guys charge, but it's very well worth it. But it gets us the info right up front. First off, to help get us a better quality quote. You're able to go through, and it's amazing what you see on these deck pages, when in the past you're kind of quoting in the blind. But when you get that deck page and you see that the other company put on uninsured and underinsured motorists, but at a completely decreased rate from what their liability is, or they left it off, or they put deductibles on certain coverages that normally don't have deductibles, you're able to pick it apart. And to say, hey, even if you stay where you're at, these are some things you need to correct, but it helps you build trust with the client, and able to do a good diagnosis of what they got.
Right. Yeah, I think building trust with clients is so important in a very hyper competitive environment like personal lines insurance. And so, yeah, using that deck page to build that trust is really good. And then, what would you say to an agent who says, "Oh, I don't quote off the deck page. Like I build my own policy. Like I don't need a deck page to quote."
If that works for you, if that works, that works. But I come to the sell from an advisory position. I want to see what you have, and what you have might be the right company. And I let that be known right up front. I want to see what you have. If I've got something that's better, great. If what you have is already the right company, I'm going to go over it and tell you, here's some things that you might want to tweak just to make it a better policy for you. Go back to your agent, get it fixed. I'll talk to you next year. We can't win every case. It would be nice, but we can't win every case. But at least we can do is advise them on what they have, send them back to where they came from. And then next year, they're going to remember that. They're going to come back and say, well, my agent never did tell me to do these things. You recommended it. So, I'm going to come back and give you another shot at it. So it worked. I'm here for the long run. I plan on being here next year.
Right.
Get a little old. I might not be here next year. I'm getting a little old, but
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a lot of really great insight, just using, getting all the information that you need to make a consultative, have a consultative conversation instead of a numbers conversation.
Right. Well, it's like a doctor. You cannot make a prescription without a proper diagnosis. It's malpractice. So if you're telling them what they ought to have before you figure out what they have and what they need, it's not the way I want to try to conduct business.
Yeah. Awesome. David, well, thanks again for jumping on the Agent Spotlight and for being such an active user and advocate of our product. We're building, new product and features every day. So thank you for all your support and all your feedback.
Brother, appreciate you.
All righty. Have a great rest of your day, David.
You too.